In a perfect world, life would go exactly as planned, without any adversities. But oh, life, it has a way of showing up and dealing you an unexpected blow. I had the opportunity to sit down with Braxton Banks, and he shared how life dealt him an unexpected blow. But oh, he had a way of overcoming that adversity. I want you to take a listen.
All right, well, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. Law enforcement background, two older brothers. Our parents kind of kept us in sports a lot, kept us out of trouble. And I was able to earn a scholarship at Morgan State University right out of high school. Attended there for 4 years, graduated, moved back to Atlanta, and because of the law enforcement background of my family, I chose that as my profession, and it was something that I was passionate about, just always wanted to be a service to people, and that's one of the number ways to do it in public safety and any type of public service. Georgia, that is just always helping people. Like my mom, she always, her main thing was, she used to tell us all the time, when you come into contact with people, leave them better than you found them. So anytime, and in law enforcement, you come in contact with so many people, and the main reason why you come in contact with it is because obviously there's a problem. That first thing is to dial, 911, let me get the police involved, let me get some help. But a job can be tough in so many ways. Like I said, you see so much stuff you don't want to see. You see people in their worst state, and they're basically crying for help at some point. And like I said, you see a lot of death, a lot of pain and suffering from a lot of people. Back in 2014, I had a girlfriend that I was with since I had been about 18 or 19. And my young years of law enforcement, you run call to call. And so this particular night, might have been about 2 a.m. We had like a disagreement about, her going out because I had a bad feeling. And, normally, that I don't, get those type of feelings, but, just knowing you just kind of get that vibe. So this particular night, she went out with some friends, and prior to her returning home, she gave me the phone call saying, I'm on the way home. We check in with each other all the time. And I patrolled the area that she lived in at a particular time in South Fulton. So after I got the phone call that she was on her way home, of course I went, kind of to where the neighborhood was, and I kind of just parked the car over there because it was kind of like a slow night, 2 a.m., February, cold. So she called back and was like, I'm gonna stop and grab something to eat real quick, and I'm gonna jump on the highway. So I was like, fine, I'll be in the driveway when you get here. So it was just kind of like one of those, okay, I'll talk to you later, love you, bye, I'll be here when you get here. So I'm sitting there waiting on her to get home. A call comes out, about a car wreck on 285. So of course it was in my patrol area, so they gave me the call on the radio. So at this particular time, I'm picking up my phone, I'm calling her to let her know, hey, I'm not gonna be in the driveway, I got a call. So I'm driving to the accident and I'm calling her, no answer. So I'm like, okay, maybe she just hit her phone. So I'm still driving, and I call again, no answer, no answer. So it might have took me about 7 or 8 minutes to get there. When I get there, a beat partner of mine, of course, the first thing you do when you arrive on scene, you try to run the tag because there was nobody in the car. Ran the tag, heard her name come over the radio when the car returns came back. So at this particular time, jump out of the car, I'm running over there trying to see what's going on because I've already called her about 20 times. So when I get over there, it's nobody in the car. So at this time, I call her mom. I'm like, Mom, hey, I'm out here with a car. She's not in here. Have you heard from her? The tow truck pulls up. He hooks the car up to the tow bed, and I'm standing right there on the phone with her mom. And now my beat partner's a female. So, females are a little different. They handle situations different than males. So as he hooks the car up, he tells me, hey, I got a little blood on the back part of the trunk. So I'm thinking like, okay, just pull the car. At this point, I'm getting upset because I already know the worst is coming. So as he pulls the car back, the car is being lifted on the tow bed, and I just hear my beat partner just scream, like this scream that I'll never forget. And she was just like, oh my God, it's a body, it's a body. And she's pointing down. I look down, and it's my girlfriend's hand beside my foot. And as he continues to pull the car back, other body parts show. Some of the body parts are not intact. They were dislodged from a body, and it's just one of the most gruesome, scenes that you can ever imagine. To this day, Like it's things that I try to do to block it out, because sometimes you could still see it. You know, if it takes you back, there may be a smell or anything that can just trigger that, and it takes you back to that scene and seeing that, and it changed my life forever. So for a while, I mean, I'll admit I went down, kind of like spiraled to like a place in life that I had never been before, where I just didn't care about anything. You know, I began drinking and just doing some things that, you know, you just normally don't do, just to kind of cope with what you saw and to kind of figure out where you're going. And you just kind of, at one particular time, was lost. I lost faith in God. You know, I grew up in the church, and I was walking around telling people God ain't real. It just took me down a dark place in my life for at least maybe about a year or so. You know, I didn't even, sometimes I didn't even know who I was. Over time, things just began to change with, you know, just prayer and a good, you know, support group, and then just having positive people and being surrounded by positive people. When I was going through what I was going through, you know, I was in a dark place. I was still, you know, in the barbershop 2 or 3 times a week. It was just a place that I enjoyed being, you know, and sitting in that chair, it was like therapeutic. Like I said, barbers wear so many different hats. You know, barber can be, you know, comedian of the day. Sometimes you just sit in that chair, you vent, and they could be a counselor. When I thought about, you know, entrepreneurship and the first, you know, businesses I wanted to go into, that was the first thing that came to mind. It had been on my mind for like the last couple of years before I actually, you know, exercised it and made it happen. Every time I put a chair in the shop, it's not, I don't look at it as like, that's another dollar I'm gonna make. I'm looking like that's another job that I'm creating for another black man who needs opportunity or a second chance at life.
I am amazed at how one can come back from such devastation and such brokenness, how one can choose to live when life has been snatched from him. I believe that there's others in this room just like Braxton Banks, and you too have lost, and you too feel devastated and depressed and in despair, but you can still be great. You can still live out your purpose. You can still live.